JT Miller is once again a New York Ranger. I'm sure you all were expecting this video. Let's dive into the trade and whether I like it as a Rangers fan and what it means for both teams. So JT Miller moving on from Vancouver is not at all surprising. Despite being the highest scoring forward on the Canucks and their number one center, pretty much everyone knew he was on the way out, given his well-publicized feud with teammate Elias Pettersson and the general locker room issues which have been plaguing the Canucks. We'll get back to that. What's the actual trade? Well, the Rangers are getting JT Miller and two prospects who I won't pretend to know anything about for Filip Chytil, Victor Mancini, and a first-round pick. I think most people watching this video are probably familiar with JT Miller, so who are the Rangers players? Well, Filip Chytil is a very interesting story. I'd actually guess he was most well-known for being a part of the kid line, where he played really well as a part of the Rangers 2022 playoff run. I think he's a very responsible center. He plays at times a flashy game, but on most teams, he'll be a second or third line center. That's not a bad thing. I think he offered great depth scoring for the Rangers. The big question mark for Chytil, though, is honestly, in my mind, not his potential, but his injuries. There was a time where I thought Filip Chytil was done playing professional hockey. Specifically, last season, he suffered his fourth concussion and missed almost the entire year, returning only in the second round of the playoffs. But this season, on a team which often looks like they don't care, Filip Chytil has consistently been a bright spot. Victor Mancini is a big right shot defenseman. I haven't seen a ton of him, but I liked what I saw when he was up with the Rangers this season. He's only 22, which is young for a defenseman, but considering his play style, I think it's very possible that he would have moved up to a bigger role with the Rangers. And honestly, that's why I'm feeling a bit sad about the trade. First of all, obviously from a pure stats standpoint, I think this is a good deal for New York. I mean, it's hard to doubt that. It's not often you get a potential number one center without it being a rental at the deadline. I'll come back to term in a minute, but I don't doubt Miller's ability to produce, but it's definitely at least sad to see two players who have consistently passed the eye test for New York going the other way. Like, I think the Rangers are unfortunately happy to trade Chytil just because, let's be honest, he's one hit away from, and obviously we hope this doesn't happen, a seriously jeopardizing situation for his hockey career. That being said, I'm very, very excited to watch JT Miller, and I think a lot of Vancouver fans, at least based on what I've seen, are not happy with this trade. Obviously, there was the first-round pick involved as well. It's protected, which is probably important for the Rangers given how this season is going. But I mean, you look at a point-a-game player, a 103-point scorer last year, and yeah, on its face, not what I would call a massive, massive return. Now, hockey trades aren't just limited to points. One of the big currencies being exchanged here is a cap space. Vancouver, in exchanging Chytil for Miller, are gaining $3.5 million in cap space. The Rangers have a ton with Trouba's contract gone. In fact, if they can turn the season around, they may even be buyers at the deadline where they will have accrued some cap. But just a reminder, JT Miller is only on year 2 of his new contract. He's 31 and he'll be under contract until 37 years old with an $8 million cap hit yearly. I'm not honestly super concerned about this as a Rangers fan. I mean, the team is very used to having old guys with decently sized cap hits, but according to the NHL and the NHLPA, the league is predicting massive jumps in the salary cap. In fact, I think the Rangers are really happy overall to have gotten the Shesterkin contract done, to have much of their core, for better or for worse, locked up, because next year they're projecting a jump of nearly $8 million with comparable jumps, if not more, over the subsequent 2 seasons. We're going to see, put simply, a massive, massive inflation in the value of free agent contracts. I remember when an $8 million contract was for the elite of the elite players only. Now you see that quite frequently for first or even second line players. Next season, the Rangers will have 5 guys earning that much or more, for example. And in a few years, that $8 million for a first liner is going to look more like, I don't know, 12. But anyway, so what's next for the Canucks? I don't know. I honestly don't, but you can't help but feel like this era of Besser, Pettersson, Miller, Hughes, I think it's going to be looked back as a major missed opportunity. Consensus seems to be that the first and the extra money may be flipped for another asset. I don't know. I guess it's a bit of a wait and see. It's shocking after the playoffs last year that the Canucks are where they are. They took the Oilers to 7 games, with Miller, I think, being a big part of that, by the way. especially against McDavid. So yeah, maybe they see where they are at the end of the season, reevaluate. Besser's contract is coming up. I think like even with the realization that this was probably needed, it's a sad day for Canucks fans because it is the end of an era, or at least it seems like it may be. The last topic I do want to discuss is the elephant in the room, and that is the potential personality issues with JT Miller. I don't know the guy, and I won't pretend to, but it sounds like JT Miller is, to put it lightly, very, very motivated to win and can be hard on his teammates. Maybe the Rangers need that right now. Mika Zibanejad, get ready. I don't know. I remember the Miller trade. I hated it then. Ryan McDonough and Miller to the Lightning for Nemestikov and a bunch of pieces, which didn't really work out. I don't know. We'll see. I've rambled a bit. Hopefully it works out for both teams, especially the Rangers if you're me. Either way, Vancouver is playing right now against Dallas. Pettersson, step up. And the Rangers play Boston tomorrow in a matinee game. So we'll see how things go.